Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the PT on Ice Daily Show. It is Leadership Thursday, and I'm Zach Long. I'll be your host today. And I'm excited to be talking to y'all about the best apps that are out there to improve your clinic's social media presence. Before we dive into that, a couple upcoming courses that we have going on in ICE. On February 15th, Mitch Babcock will be teaching Clinical Management of the Fitness Athlete live in Vancouver. In Vancouver, also on February 22nd, we'll have the Modern Management of the Older Adult course. And then on March 7th, we have three courses. We have Lumbar Spine Management in Greensboro, North Carolina, Modern Management of the Older Adult again in Indiana, and Total Spine Thrust will be in Portland. So as we all know, in this day of age, social media is not an optional thing. When people are looking for your business and trying to check out what you do, one of the first things that they're going to go to is going to be your social media platform. Whether they are actively looking at you from they're already aware of your brand, or they're trying to look for a local physical therapy company, that is going to be something that they end up on. So having a good presence there is really important. But starting that for a lot of physical therapists that aren't really comfortable marketing can be a daunting task, and a lot of PTs and a lot of physical therapy clinics have a hard time really getting that going or sustaining it once they get it going. So maybe they stay consistent on putting out content for a month, but then after that, their desire and their ability to get the job done fades very, very rapidly. So some of these apps are going to make it easier for you to go about continuing to put content out on social media, which should be helpful for you. Before we dive into these, we do need to note that I am a Mac user, so I have only Mac products, so I can't confirm that all of these work on Android, especially the ones that are for like the iPhone, for example. But if you can't get this app, there is a version of this, or there's an alternative to it that you can really easily use and look up. A lot of the ones that I use as well, there are other alternatives that do the exact same thing as the app or piece of software that I'll discuss that may be cheaper. But I've just been using some of these for such a long time that I'm a little too lazy to switch to something to save a few bucks. But they should jog some ideas in your head about where to go. So the first app, completely free. If you have an iPhone, we all know that the cameras on current phones are incredibly good, and you really don't need to go buy a whole lot of fancy video equipment if you want to start putting content online. And so I really think the iPhone Photos app is an incredibly good app to be consistently using when it comes to your clinic social media. One thing that I see a lot of clinics do is they just don't clean up their videos when they post them online. So they'll be looking off in the distance, and then they come to the exercise that they're trying to demonstrate, and there's no trimming of that initial stuff out that doesn't actually contribute to the video. And so the iPhone app makes it incredibly easy to trim the videos down so that you're showing only what you want to do. There's also a one button click that you can do when you're editing the video to mute the video. So if there's just talking in the background, music in the background, stuff that doesn't sound good or contribute to the video, it's just going to look a little bit more professional if you take the couple seconds to get rid of that background audio. So make sure you do that. The other thing that we see in the iPhone app that is incredibly good when it comes to just photo management is now it really lets you easily change the aspect ratio of the pictures. So you can take a video that's filmed landscape, so it's wide, and you can easily change it to a square, or easily change it to like a 9:5 aspect ratio, which is what 4:5. 4:5 is what I typically use in my videos. And the reason that's important is as people are scrolling through social media, you want to kind of take up a lot of real estate in their account. So as you're scrolling through Instagram, if you have a landscape video, that video is really wide, but it's not very tall. And so if you change the orientation of that to where you cut out the sides, maybe you're in the middle of that actual video, and you cut out the sides and make the video now taller to where it's either a square or 4:5 orientation, you now take up more real estate. It takes a little bit longer for people to scroll past your stuff. So it gives you just that extra split second of opportunity to grab somebody's attention and start to show them your message and make them more aware of your brand. So I think paying attention to the orientation stuff is pretty important. Now, you go to something like YouTube, for example, where all the videos are played at the same orientation, then you need to not change it to a 9:5 in that platform. But that iPhone app will really easily let you edit a video and then save it as a new video. So you can shoot that video in landscape, upload that to YouTube, then edit it down to a different file size for Facebook and for Instagram. So make sure you're using that app just for that little bit of cleanliness to your videos. Now, when you're trying to take those videos and add a little bit more to it and you want to just get started on video editing and upgrading those videos just a little bit, then I think it's important to use an app such as Videorama. So Videorama has a bunch of cool features. I'll kind of talk about the top ones that it has. Number one, you can import multiple videos. And so if you're trying to combine multiple exercises into one video that you post up, that really easily allows you to do that. It allows you to change the speed of some of these videos, add some background music, and also add some titles. So it's a really easy app to start getting your foot wet with the video editing options that are out there. Again, that is on iPhone. I'm not sure that that one's on Android. Similar to that app is Typorama. So Typorama allows you to put backgrounds on a picture of different sizes. You can then put text on top of it. So, a lot of the quotes and stuff you'll see me put out, or you'll see Onward Charlotte put out on social media. Sometimes we'll use this Typorama app to do that. You can easily put your logo into it by just clicking a stamp button. So that's a really good one to use on your iPhone. If you're going from your computer, a place that's a little bit better to go is Canva, Canva. So Canva is free. There's also a premium version, but Canva allows you to do a lot of really cool things. You can build flyers, you can build headers for your social media, you can create posts, and they have all sorts of different layouts that allow you to really easily create nice looking graphics for your clinic. You can upgrade to a premium version, which gives you even more options. It allows you to put some videos in there, and it allows you to use some of the free stock photos that they have access to. Canva just has a ton of options, an incredibly good platform. It's something that we at Onward, anytime we're looking to, when we create business cards, when we create flyers to promote a workshop, we always go to Canva. We use their printing services. Their printing services are great, and things are delivered really fast. It is a top-notch piece of software that I'd really say your clinic needs to be on, and I would highly suggest looking at bumping that up to the premium version, which just gives you a lot of other options. You'll also see a lot of ICE's newer social media stuff come off of Canva, and so that's an incredibly good thing to use. Next app is the Repost app. There are a couple different options for that, but I think we gotta understand that we don't always have to be creating brand new content for our clinic. You can be sharing content created by others and using that to continually put out stuff. Now, you don't want everything you put out to be reposted. There should be some balance there. Maybe like every 3 or 4 posts you put out, repost somebody else's and make sure it's still on, who your target demographic is. Like, don't be reposting my weightlifting videos if your clinic caters to older adults that just had total knee replacements. Not that I'm saying that stuff's not valuable for them, but they're not going to look at your Facebook page and think that message speaks to them. So make sure you're staying on brand in these reposting. But it makes for a really easy way to create content. And what I typically do is if I'm in Instagram and I see a post that's worth me possibly reposting down the road, there's a little bookmark option inside of Instagram. I will bookmark that into a folder on Instagram that says repost. And so then, I get to a period of time where I'm just really overrun by stuff. I don't have time to go film new content. I can just go to that folder in my Instagram and I could choose a couple of the videos or pictures or whatever that I saved in there and repost those to kind of save me some time, but still make sure I'm consistently putting out content. Now, alongside those lines of the difficulty of always putting out new content, we need to be able to recycle content. And so the next 2 apps that we're going to talk about really come to making sure we don't just make a piece of content and use it once. So Dropbox and Google Drive are 2 fantastic apps to be using to improve your clinic social media. So every time I film a video, I then take it to Dropbox and save it in Dropbox. You could also do the same with Google Drive. And I have different folders inside of my Dropbox. I have a folder that is original videos. So I'll upload that landscape video that I originally took, and I'll title it, back squat. and I'll save it in there. Then maybe I edited the size, and so I'll also have a file that says, 9:5 ratio or whatever it is, and I'll upload that video there. Same thing. Name it back squat, 9:5, whatever the ratio is. And so I now have this big database of all of these videos that I've shot previously. So again, when things get busy and I don't have time to create brand new content, I can go back, grab that video, download it, and reuse it in the future. And so I'm actually starting to do even more shooting videos in the same location, wearing the same clothes. And I'm trying to be cognizant of that so that I can now take, let's say I have 50 videos of me in the same location, wearing the same clothes. That's not only 50 posts, but I can go back and grab a couple different things and combine them. So next month, I've already kind of had my social media calendar planned out for later this month. I have 2 days where I'm sharing some thoracic mobility drills. I had 5 thoracic mobility drills that I filmed. I have 2 new ones in 2 different posts, and the 5th video is getting in each of those sequences. So it just made it really easy for me to put together some stuff. And all of those are videos that I filmed about 3 months ago at a gym. So I'm just reusing that content. It's all been shared again. I'm just reusing it slightly differently rather than always having to create new stuff. The next app again goes along with this rescheduling of content, and the app is called Meet Edgar. There are a lot of different options outside of Meet Edgar. Meet Edgar is actually an expensive version of this. I've just been using it for such a long time. I started to look at new options, and the amount of time it was going to take for me to switch over didn't make the $100 or $200 of savings worth it for my time. But when you post a blog article or a piece of content on social media, only a small percentage of your followers see that. And so we need to do a better job of recycling our content. You worked really hard on that blog post or whatever it is. Don't have it go out once and be forgot about forever. So what Meet Edgar does is it allows you to import different pieces of content into your library, and then you can set up a schedule for how often it shares that. So I have a schedule on Barbell Physio where it reshares one of my previous blog posts, which I have over 100 blog posts. It reshares one every single day. It also imports from other websites of people that I like. So let's say it goes to Brett Contreras' website or Greg Knuckles' websites, 2 people that I regularly read. It imports all of their new content into a separate folder. And that folder is things that are shared maybe every other day. So I share my content every day on there, other people's content every other day. And it really puts basically my Facebook posting, my Twitter posting on autopilot. I don't have to touch it to have the same content continually reshared. The reason I like Meet Edgar is that, I run Onward Charlotte's Facebook page. I run Barbell Physio's Facebook page, and I also contribute on the ICE Facebook page. And it allows me to post this content on multiple different categories. So if you go to the ICE page, for example, you'll see, obviously, we've created a ton of podcast episodes. Every day of the week for the last 3 years, we've gotten on here. Before that, Jeff was getting on all the time. And you'll see that we're consistently now resharing previous episodes, the PT on Ice daily show, and that is done through Meet Edgar. So that, again, our content is just continually reshared. And again, there are multiple different options similar to Meet Edgar that you can play with. Another app that I'm a big fan of, and this is my biggest time saver right now, is the Later app. So the Later app is for posting on Facebook and Instagram, mostly posting videos and images, not so much resharing blog content. It doesn't have this like auto reshare option. But again, I run Barbell Physio. I contribute to Onward Charlotte and my other business, Performance Plus Programming. I have 3 different Instagram accounts that I'm posting to, 3 or 4 different Facebook pages. And so a lot of times I forget to post on some of these brands. So I would post on Barbell Physio every day, but I would forget to go onto Performance Plus and post, or forget to go to Onward Charlotte and post as consistently as I needed to. And so I got the Later app, which allows me as one user to control these 3 different social media platforms there. It also allows me to assign other people to have access to this. So at Onward Charlotte, I'm allowed to make Jordan an authorized user. So Jordan has a login and he can go onto Onward Charlotte and post. He can't get on Barbell Physio and post. He can't mess with that brand. It also allows me to set like Pamela Gagnon, my business partner at Performance Plus. She's able to get onto that brand. But basically, inside of the Later app, I can upload these videos or images, whether that's from my phone or from my computer or directly from Dropbox, into a media library, and then I drag it into my calendar so that I can make sure and plan out my calendar a couple weeks in advance. So I'm typically trying to stay 2 to 3 weeks ahead of time with my calendar. At Onward Charlotte, what we do is Jordan and I get together every month and we look at what events we have coming up. And so if we have a marketing event on February 22nd, then we are going to make sure, a couple times before February 22nd, we're putting out a post to promote that event. But it allows us to really easily plan stuff out as a team. It also allows me, all of that content that I have posted is kind of saved into the library. I can filter it across multiple different things. So I can filter it as used or unused content. I could filter it according to it being a promotional video or it being an informative video or whatever I want to name that category. And so again, just like previously, I could easily go back and grab content that I previously made and share it. So I might have a tag for Performance Plus Programming, and I noticed that in the last couple of weeks, I haven't put out a post that is a direct sales pitch for anything. What do? I go to that tag, I grab one of those pieces of content and I add it to my calendar. If you're using the paid version of Later, it also tells you when the best times to post are. When are you getting the most engagement, and gives you some really detailed analytics of what's happening on your social media. And it also auto publishes if you do the paid version. So that's just a nice feature that you don't have to take the extra 20 seconds that it takes to have the app alert you that a post is ready and then have you manually post it. The paid version will automatically do that for you. I do the paid version. I definitely don't think that that's necessary for most people. But if you're somebody that kind of needs that extra step taken away from you, the paid version is worth it. 3 more apps we'll talk about. And I know I'm kind of running long on time here, but I want to give you all a lot of good information around this topic to really help you out. The Mojo app, Mojo, is a fantastic app for easily creating advertisements that kind of look flashy. They look nice and professionally done. You can have, wordage flying on the screen. You can have images come in from different angles. It looks really nice. I've noticed that since I switched to using Mojo ads versus making my ads on Videorama, that my conversions and click-throughs have gone up a little bit. So the Mojo app, it's like a one-time fee. I can't remember what it costs, but the images that it gives you, I think are well worth it to invest in that if you're regularly putting out different ads on social media to promote workshops and things like that. But you could certainly also get away with using just Canva for that purpose. The app VSCO is a really easily photo editing app. So the ability to touch up photos and change the lighting and things like that will really impact the number of people that stop and look at your content. And so that's a really easy app to go to dress up your pictures and images just a little bit. And then the last apps we'll talk about, I mentioned these 2 apps a couple weeks ago on Fitness Athlete Friday when I did the top apps for working with fitness athletes. Now, these apps are Huddle and Coach's Eye. They're 2 really good apps for slowing down movement. You can draw joint angles on them. They're for iPhone and iPad, but you can really easily analyze somebody's movement patterns on these 2 apps. And these apps do fantastic when you then export the videos to social media because they kind of pop. Like if I take a screenshot of somebody's running analysis and I'm showing their knee joint angle and I put a caption down below on, I'm seeing this person run with decreased knee bend during their mid stance. This is somebody that's been dealing with knee pain for a while. And this combined with what we did from our strength testing really indicated to me, they weren't trusting their knee extensors to support their body weight, or I could put whatever story behind that I want, or video as well. Those posts do incredibly well because it lets my target demographic of highly active individuals see that I am doing more than just giving them a worksheet with 7 exercises on it. That I am the person that is going to break down their form and analyze that at depth. And those social media posts really do a good job of highlighting that. So you'll see on Onward Charlotte us post that a lot. Anytime I post pictures or videos like that on Barbell Physio account, that typically gets a lot of likes, impressions, and creates a lot of discussion for me. So there were a lot of apps covered there. And I know I probably went through them really fast. So I'm going to go back in the show notes on Facebook and I will type all of the names of these apps out for y'all just so you can go back and read those and look those up. But I hope that's helpful. As always, reach out to me if you have any questions about this or social media. I'm happy to chat about that. Hope everybody has a great Thursday. Talk to you soon.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.